Hi friends, in today's video we're going to talk about one of the many ways to highlight notes, the transition between notes and phrasings with our low whistle, tonguing. We'll talk about how to do this skill and I'll give you some practice recommendations. Practice recommendations whether you've played a woodwind instrument before or whether you've never played an instrument like this. And I'll also give you some rules of the road. Tonguing in Irish music means highlighting a note, a transition between notes, or the phrasing of the rhythm of a tune. And it is not the default way of playing every note in a song. Tonguing is described as an ornament by many of the folks I read and the videos I watch of people who play their whistles and are experts in Irish music. Some famous players use very little tonguing except as like a really crisp expression. And other famous players of traditional music use tonguing quite a bit in the way they play. You and I can and should develop our own style as we grow in playing this whistle that we have. So, how do we do this? Tonguing is when you tap your tongue very briefly off of the roof of your mouth behind your teeth. Don't tap the mouthpiece. You have a really hard time playing the low register and everything's squeaky and the notes are just choppy. Some people say use the ta-ta-ta-ta where you're making that sound, and you'll find your tongue right behind your teeth when you do that. But I find that the tonguing is a little sharper that way. And a lot of the folks that I find that I respect what they do in their playing, they use that type of tonguing very infrequently. I find that if you do the sound da 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 like a soft TH or a really soft D, that your tongue's a little further back. That it's not as harsh. And I don't hear a lot of harsh tonguing in Irish music. So try that. It can feel awkward if you've never done this before, and that's okay. We're doing new things, and we'll get used to it. That's really all there is to it. You start the note off just by tapping your tongue. Notice I'm not stopping the flow of air. I'm continuing the flow of air. It's not a chop the note. It's attempt to be smooth with the note. Let's listen to the difference between playing a song with tonguing and playing without. I won't add any ornaments in. This is a little bit off of O'Keeffe's slide that was in that last group of 5 songs I shared with you. Just the first line. I'll tongue the first time. And now play it with no tonguing. Notice a couple challenges. There are 2 E's in a row, 2 G's in a row. You can't differentiate them. That's what ornaments are for. Think of tonguing as one of the ornaments in your ornament toolkit. So I've heard some people play this. So the tonguing can be involved as just another highlight, a gentle, soft highlight in the notes. That's it, basically. Now, we'll talk about how to develop this ability to more rapidly articulate the notes with tonguing another time. That's an advanced skill. And we'll also talk about some of the tonguing that's required to accentuate the rhythm within a jig as opposed to a reel, we'll do that later too. That's a little bit more advanced. Right now, we just need to become accustomed to doing the skill. So the question then is, when do we use this ornament? When do we use tonguing? Well, you can mix it in with cuts and taps, because you don't want the exact same ornament all the time. That it's a little monotonous. So it's a variety of ornaments, and tonguing is one of them that has its place as you play. And it's important for us to feel how we want to express a tune within the rhythm and the heart of the tune. So try to use tonguing to emphasize the rhythm of the tune, just how you're feeling it. Listen to a recording and then try and emulate some of that. Use tonguing to, like when you're doing a jump between octaves. I've noticed a number of people doing that, especially if you're going from a lower octave up to a higher note, and all of a sudden the tune becomes punchy. So you want to just hit that first octave note with a sharper tongued note, probably. Or you might want to do a roll or a cut. We haven't talked about the rolls yet, but we're going to do that really soon. There's a lot to add, and I don't want to overwhelm us. Some players like to employ tonguing for the very first note of a song as well. It's like, I'm starting the song, here we go. It's a good, crisp beginning to a song. Unless it's a really slow song and you're sliding into it. Again, differences. How are you feeling this song? You can use tonguing as a way to embellish a single long note, or if you've got a triplet of the same notes together, you might do a cut between one to transition, and a tongue on another. The skill is nuanced in the style of how you and I are going to play it. Something else for us to grow into. As I said, it's now part of your ornament toolkit. So I said I'd give you some practice recommendations. Play a scale and tongue every note. Or, if you're like me and you're accustomed to tonguing every note, play a scale without tonguing any notes. It's important to be able to perform both of these skills. Or tongue a note twice as you play a scale. It's important for us to realize that we can do more with tonguing and just tongue that first note once. I'm just tapping my tongue on the roof of my mouth, like I said, in that da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da sound. You can tongue a note and jump an octave. I'll start with the low D and jump to the high. And that helps that transition. Yeah, I was having a little trouble there. Another practice recommendation. I said I'd have a practice recommendation if you've played a woodwind instrument before, like I have. And I was wanting to tongue every note. Here it is. Play a tune and don't tongue a single note. Use other ornaments to enable you to play the transition between those notes, like in O'Keeffe's slide. Just, throw something else in. No tonguing. Play songs without tonguing for a while until you break yourself of the habit of wanting to tongue every note. And then say to yourself, hey, this is an ornament. It's not a requirement. So put it in your toolbox and then begin using it. Now, if you've never played an instrument that involved tonguing before, then tongue every note. Do nothing else but tongue the notes. And if if you're a little slower, if you're a little choppier, don't stress over that. Give yourself some grace and let yourself slide into this and until you're able to play it more gracefully with less of a harsh beginning to your notes. It's a matter of, if you've done this a lot, back off. If you've not done it much, then add it in and let it dominate for a while until it becomes more of a habit and your hands and fingers and tongue know what to do. So, another ornament in your toolkit. Well, I said I'd give you the rules of the road. Here they are. The rules of the road, the first rule of the road is that the rules of the road are pretty fuzzy. Like I said, some of the best whistle players use it a lot. Some of the best whistle players hardly use it at all. What's your style going to be? Play, 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 and start figuring it out. How does the heart of this tune, how do you feel like expressing it? Now, there are times, another rule of the road, there are times when you need a bit of a punch. And maybe a cut feels too gentle and you want that little punchy transition. Tongue that note. Tongue it a little harder. Or if you want your notes to be really, really crisp over a brief passage of a song, then you could tongue those notes. As I said, always pay attention to those who are better than we are, who are going before us, how they're doing. Avoid punchy staccato tonguing. We've talked about that a little bit, but it's... Don't make it punch and stand out. It's part of the flow of the song. Don't break that constant airflow. Now, sure, tonguing is going to interrupt that, but don't harm it. Let a constant, gentle airflow. I hope that helps. If this has been in your tool chest with instruments you've played, set it aside for a while and bring it back in gently, according to how it marries with Irish tunes. If you've not used tonguing as one of the things you've played, ways you've played before, then add it in, let it dominate for long enough that it becomes something you're able to do. Okay, we're continuing to add skills. I'm having a great time. I feel like I've got so far to go to get better, but that's okay because this is such an exciting journey. I hope you're enjoying coming along with me. Please add this new tool into your toolkit. And you can connect with me, use a comment, let me know some of the other skills you want to work on. Now, remember, you can send me an email at scott@lowdwhistle.com and let me know the skills you want to work on or any challenges you're experiencing. So, this is Scott Shade. Until next time, happy low D whistling.